My name is Rolando Garza, and I'm the marketing director for Social Life magazine. I do photography, graphic design, editorial, event scheduling, and lots of other miscellaneous tasks here in the office.
Hello, my name is Josetta Dame. As a senior at UTRGV, I have spent my last 4 years studying mass communication print writing. My career goal is to become a writer in print, and for my project, I have met someone who is doing just that, who can give me an insight. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where releasing information may cause danger to individuals and the public?
There was a situation when we had a photographer who attracted the special attention of a young gentleman, and he actually kept following her, or he kept, running into her at events, and eventually it became an issue. And he came to the office thinking she would be here, but our photographers, thankfully, they live their own lives and they only work for events. We confronted him and told him, due to our policies and a contract we signed for a confidentiality agreement, that we're unable to release the information. And so for clients, what we have done is we try to make sure that there's the utmost privacy when it comes to certain groups, or all the groups actually we deal with, especially when they ask for it. With that, we provide the contract that provides the privacy settings for them, and any material or sensitive material that we might have, such as our logos or in particular editorial that's only dedicated to us or only has a special release for few publications, because there are people who try to get their little grubby hands on everything, and we end up paying the price by having the backlash come out on us. They trust us, and we want to maintain that trust, and the last thing we want is for our clients to be endangered.
How do you, as an advertising professional, ensure your work remains legal and ethical?
When it comes to ethical and legal standards, we try to maintain the best quality here in Social Life. We try to follow a rule of ethics that you would use with your family, being honest and kind. And we throw in a dash of professionalism in there, because we try to treat all of our clients with respect, no matter how big or small. If there's something that crosses those boundaries, I bring it up to the president and tell them, hey, that sounds a little offensive, or I think an individual might be hurt.
Was speech ever censored? Was censorship reasonable or unreasonable?
There has been times where speech, I wouldn't say has been censored, but has been edited, due to the times wherein it might have offended a group. I know we've done some times in the past when there's political campaigns, and some of the words might be a little edgy towards other components or competitors, and we try to eliminate that.
Have your professional ethic views changed over the years?
Yes, they have. Actually, over the years I was a designer, and I'm still a designer on the offside. My ethical views in business have changed a lot since working here. I know how a lot of times people say, oh, everyone's so nice and sweet. In reality is, not everybody can be trusted, and the way how you treat people affects that. Ethical standards, treat them how you want to be treated. I always treat my customers or my clients or the connections we have here at Social Life with the uttermost respect.
What do you feel is major ethical or legal challenges facing the industry today?
Today, for ethical and legal standards, I know a big point in that is political correctness. Things have surfaced over the years compared to when they were in the 1990s, such as transgender groups and other groups, and they like to be recognized, and when you don't recognize them, they get very upset. When you discriminate or when you use improper wording to describe their culture, people can get very offended. And even though we're in such a centralized place in the valley where it's around 90+% Hispanic, there's still other cultures here that need to be represented equally as us.
How have social media and bloggers changed ethics or the way in which information is delivered?
Well, nowadays with social media, or in general just the internet, people consume their information lightning fast, and they expect things here and now. And also censorship on the internet as well is very, very lenient. I can go on and speak my mind, and I'll have 1,000 people agree with me, and I can upset 100,000 more. But as a magazine, we here are trying to compete with that kind of immediate digestion of information that people use. back in the day, if I wanted to see how long it would take to get from here to the moon, I would have to ask a scientist or go to a thing called the library and get a book and look it up. But now I can just pull out my cell phone and say, "Hey Google, how far is it from me to the moon?" And it'll tell me like that. So to compete with that, we try ourselves to push ourselves to as much in advance in the technology way as we can, such as our digital magazine, email newsletters, and social events that we have here, just to try to keep up, because the world is moving really fast, and if you don't move with it, you'll get left behind.
With the information and insight I've gathered within the profession, I gain a little more visual clearance of what is to come for the profession I wish to pursue in print writing.